Welcome to the Disneyville podcast, episode 21.
We are on our way, baby. Next stop,
1,000. Oh, okay. Well, see where the day takes us. We are your hosts. I am Tyler.
I am Jessica.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to see you.
We are weirdly excited about today's episode.
Super excited.
I gotta say, when Jessica first brought up this idea, I was like, okay, I mean, it sounds kind of interesting. But once I started writing stuff down, I'm like, okay, this is fun. We're talking about the travel day that you have on the way from wherever you live to Disney. You have a weird obsession with the travel day.
I do. So I've learned there's a whole world on YouTube, for example, of obviously we do Disney vlogs, which shameless plug. If you want to check out our adventures, we go multiple times a year and we vlog everything.
We got lots of them.
And we have them on a playlist on our Disneyville podcast YouTube channel, but they all live for now on Tyler Braun's channel, if you search that. Anyway, there is this world of YouTube that are really into Disney travel day vlogs, and I have fallen prey to this, and I love them. And I think it's because in those vlogs, the people are so excited because their trip has just begun. There's just that sparkling, that shining, shimmering, splendid rest of your trip that hasn't even happened yet.
Yeah.
And you're just settling in.
And the anticipation has been building for months and months probably.
Yeah,
and
maybe years. Yeah,
that's very true. It is funny because I will say even on our videos, always the travel day has a lot more views. Consistently across the board, the travel day is always the highest viewed.
So never fear on our trip that we may be on while you were watching this one, or maybe we just got back. Those vlogs that are coming up, we will film a travel day vlog.
And it's funny because recently, within the last couple of years, I was like, do we need to film the travel day? I mean, I was like, I don't think we need to. I think we'll just start filming once we're there. And you were like, no, people, this is what the people want to see. I'm like, okay.
So the whole purpose behind this in my mind when I was dreaming this episode up was to just talk through what are our favorite things we do on that travel day. And I'm not really talking about prepping and packing. I'm not really talking about even getting there, like on the plane or driving, however you're getting there. I'm talking about you've arrived, what next? Most people, I mean, depending on maybe you have an annual pass, but most people are not going to spend a park ticket day if they only have a half day.
True.
Some do.
Well, when we were younger and we were whippersnappers, we would fly in and we'd be there by like 9 a.m. So that was different.
Because
we
you had a whole day.
We were in our 20s and we could just rock and roll.
We were
ready to go.
We were ready.
And I always remember, and actually I'm going to talk about this in a minute because I do want to talk a little bit about the actual travel.
Sure.
And then we'll get mostly once we get there.
It's
but I have a couple things to talk about.
It can be whatever you want it to be.
Start your own podcast. You can talk about whatever you want. But I am going to talk about a couple things. But there's that feeling of, I always remember going to bed and we were like always doing like last minute packing. And then you wake up so early and you fly in and I'm like, it's crazy that I'm waking up and it's like 3:30 right now. And in a couple hours, I'm going to be on like Spaceship Earth or something. So there's, I love that.
You bring that up most trips and we'll wake the night before. It's usually the night before you'll be like, hey, by this time tomorrow, we're going to be like eating pizza poolside or whatever, or like on whatever ride. I love that idea.
So good. So do we want to talk a little bit about the travel day first?
Yes.
I have a couple things about
hit it,
that.
Babe. It sounds like you've got plans.
That was, well, when I was doing my notes, that's kind of what I wrote down. So I'm going to take...
That's all you wrote about?
I'm going to take
Here's my packing
my
list.
prep. Okay. So we'll quickly go through here. And I want to try and paint a picture here for you guys. So my ideal travel day, not once you get there, from the time you wake up to getting there, just like what I talked about. I'm waking up at 3 a.m. I don't want a 10 a.m. flight.
What time is your flight?
I want to be at the airport. There is something I love about being at the airport early in the morning. It's usually less crowded, and you just have that like excitement where you're like, again, you're going to Disney, you're traveling anywhere. I love being at the airport at like 6 a.m. It's an acquired taste.
What are your thoughts about with our very young children at 6 in the morning?
Well,
we've done that.
We have.
We will do it again.
It's not as ideal, but it's still fine.
It's still fun. Well, and I feel like they're usually kind of going.
Well, that and like again, they know we're going to Disney, so even they are like, okay, man, let's rock and roll.
That's right. They're like, give me some coffee too, and let's go.
We ride at midnight, Manhattan in the distance.
We ride at dawn.
So most of the time we go in and we eat McDonald's if it's even open that early, which most of the time it is. I feel like occasionally we'll get there and it's like closed.
Hold on, I'm stuck on your Hamilton reference you just made. Applause. Loved it. Go on.
Moving on. So eating at McDonald's, way overpriced McDonald's, and they never have anything that you like a normal McDonald's has. Like I always want like a bagel, and they never have it.
Oh, that's because you like a weird menu item at McDonald's.
I
Okay,
guess.
what is your guys' McDonald's breakfast order? I'm going dry biscuit. I know it sounds weird, but there's something about the dryness of that biscuit. My mouth is watering just thinking about it. I am not eating breakfast yet. Anyway, or like you were really into McGriddles for a while
I was.
when we were younger.
That was a
Back
big
in our
thing, yeah.
whippersnapper days. But
Kinda
yeah,
got
you
out
always
of it.
want the bagel. I feel like that's too thick.
Well, if it's done well, it is so good. The problem is 9 out of 10 times I order it, it's not done well. I
Or
don't know
they
why.
just don't have it.
I don't know why I keep doing this to myself.
Why are they running out of bagels, you know?
Why is it 75% more at the airport McDonald's than
Well,
it is
that's
in any
just
other
math.
McDonald's?
That's just travel
yeah.
math.
So we eat at McDonald's. We go through security, all that good stuff. Download videos for offline use. Not if you're a parent, because you're not going to have any time. But
You'll be downloading them for your children. for
yeah,
offline
yeah.
use.
But that is a big thing. Like, and sometimes we'll be like, oh no, I forgot. And like, we'll be at the airport, like trying with the terrible airport Wi-Fi to download stuff, so we have it available offline. So we get there, we're flying. We're not going to talk about the flight. The flight happens. You move on. So we land at MCO.
It's fine. It goes just fine.
You land at MCO. There's a million ways to get to Disney nowadays. There used to be one way.
R.I.P. Magical Express.
Very sad. I was thinking about it. So Sunshine Flyers gone. Minivans.
Well, but it was bought by Mears, so it's
right. But
the
that's
same
not
thing.
that's not an option anymore. Magical Express is gone. The minivans are gone. They
Well,
keep
they're in
taking
the resort.
right, but I'm saying from MCO
Got it. Okay.
to the place.
I got you.
All these options we used to have are down to like nothing now. You have Mears, you have a rental car, or you have Uber or Lyft. That's all you have.
Or like
now.
a private transport.
right.
Transport. Why can't I?
Private transfer service. Or something.
Transfer.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the word.
So anyway, so that's just sad, and that could be a 3
I
hour
already
episode.
added to our list doing a whole episode about transportation. Not just that, but like
Yeah.
also inner Disney transportation, the good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah, that could be a 3 hour episode, honestly. So one big thing. This is my big travel tip for your travel day. My tip is to have tips, because so often you need tips for helping with people that are helping with your bags, whether it's Mears or whatever.
We somehow only have 20s. I'll have like two 20s. I'm like, what? I did not
Do
plan
as I
at
say,
all.
not as I do. But my rule of thumb, because like if you're doing like a Mears transfer, they grab your bags and put them under and all that kind of stuff. And then when you get your bags at the end, I always try and tip. Or if you drop your bags off at Bell Services, if your room's not ready, having a tip. So my rule of thumb is $1 per bag, and then you round up to the nearest 5. So if you have 4 bags, you give them a 5. If you have 8 bags, you give them a 10. So 5s and 10s
And if
really.
they're just exceptional, just give them the 20, I guess.
Yeah. But the other thing is, a lot of the people in Bell Services recently have told us they have Venmo. So if you don't have cash on you, which a lot of people don't carry cash.
I wonder if they're allowed to do that. I say go for it. Most
Yeah.
people do not have cash, so I hope they are. But you'd
Yeah.
almost think Disney would just give them a QR code they can hang on their lanyard. Be like, yo, here.
They'd have
I
to
mean,
be-
honestly.
But then they'd have to be taxed on it. I would assume if they went through.
Whereas if it's cash, it's
don't know.
that's tricky.
I don't know.
Anyway,
this is
I don't know
all-
the tax
This is all me making stuff up on the spot, so I
Yeah.
do not know. Anyway, so have 5s and 10s on you. That's going to be key. And then you actually get to your hotel, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. I'm going to backtrack just a little bit.
Okay.
You're on your transport to your hotel, whatever that looks like.
Very
This
Star
next time-
Warsian of you.
I know. Transfer. Why can't I?
I like transport.
Get on your transport. You can. Well, first of all, we're doing this like private transportation. I heard about it from Pixie Dusted Mom, who's one of my favorite YouTube buddies, and she does Disney vlogs, especially with like kids and like tips. She uses, and I can't think of the name right now, but we're trying that out next time. We will report back and let you know how it goes. But it has kind of like the minivan, it has car seats, and you can choose what kinds you need. They'll have them installed. And so we've got them taking us from the airport to our hotel, and then from the hotel to the airport. And that will be an early morning flight on the way home.
Yes.
Anyway, so we're excited to try that. But a lot of times we will order a mobile order at the quick service at our hotel
Right.
on the way if we're hungry. This is assuming we didn't eat at McDonald's when we landed as well.
It's a double McDonald's day.
It's usually one or the other, but you know. So if we are hungry, we'll go ahead and order the mobile order, and then when we arrive, we'll hit that we're here, so then we can get out of that transport. What's wrong with me?
Recruits to
Anyway.
your transports.
That's exactly what I'm thinking about. Anyway, we'll get out of the transport and we can go pick up the food. it's ready. We can take it back to our room. We can just eat it poolside or just like people watching at a table. I mean, it is really nice to have that already ordered and you're not scrambling.
So you should do your mobile check-in before you get there. You can do it on the app. It's super quick and easy. They will let you know, most of the time they will let you know if your room is ready on the app. So you don't even have to go to the check-in desk.
And you'll even get a text.
Exactly. So it's really nice to have it. And then you can go to the app and there'll be a map to get to your room, all that kind of stuff. If your room is not ready, like I said, you can drop your bags off with Bell Services. That's what we do, I feel like, almost every time. Like I feel like our room is never ready when we get there. Even if we get there at like 3.
We'll get there at 3 and we're like, certainly. And they're like, no.
Yeah. So that's always a really nice service to have. Every hotel has it. Drop your bags off and then you can zoom around. You don't have to carry your bags around or just sit in the lobby and wait for your room to get ready.
Right. Another thing we will have done before we've even gone on the trip, so usually like a day or 2 before, just so I'm not stressed trying to do it, is place a grocery order. Now, not everyone's going to need that, but even if your grocery order only entails like water, you know what I mean? Couple snacks or maybe a few like grab and go breakfast things. Think about it. You buy a bushel of bananas or you buy a $2 banana at the quick service. You know what I mean? It's just so much cheaper.
Just having granola bars and stuff, throw in your fanny pack to go out for the day.
For us with young kids, especially if we have one like that's like a villa or something that has a fridge or even the studios, we'll get yogurt to put in, whatever.
Got my Mickey Mouse fanny pack with my granola bar, my chapstick, and my disposable camera. Zip.
Add a blow pop to that, and you just described what I would have as a kid in mine. So having the grocery order, because that's another thing that Bell Services will hold on to for you until you've got your room and they can deliver it.
Yeah, and they will deliver. You can go to and usually pick it up right there. Sometimes they have it stored in a back room. We always go to our room when our room is ready and then have them deliver directly to our room. So
that's usually when we're calling to also get like a pack and play or crib, depending on our situation. Yeah. So, and also purple tote. That's the what's that actually called? Owner's locker. That's something very niche, but a lot of you guys watching this are into this, so you're the niche.
You are the market.
It's funny, like if I mention this in one of my own videos, I'll get like, what? Like you have this tote in Disney that stays there and it's got stuff in it that you use every trip and you leave it there? I'm like, yeah, I know it sounds crazy, but you guys probably understand. We'll leave our fans, because it's hot down there, all of our fans and chargers, cooling towels. We'll have just a few random like pool toys for the kids. Just
things that take up room that you don't want to bring back and forth.
That you know you're going to use every single time. And again, we go a lot. So
and I've gotten to the point now where I leave like, shorts, t-shirts, socks, all that kind of stuff down there. So like when I travel, all I have is my backpack with like filming stuff. And then that's just one less bag to carry.
So I fill your luggage with the rest of the girls' stuff.
Well, say when we've got, stuff for the girls and I don't know why they won't push their own suitcases.
It's the craziest thing.
Our 2-year-old, she should be on it by this point.
She should be.
It's always funny though, because when we are carrying stuff, I'm like, we've got our, I always laugh because I'm like, we've got so much stuff. I think we've gotten really good at it, but I'm like, we are a mobile unit moving through the airport.
We now have like matching suitcases. So you've just got them all rolling there together. And then I've got the kids and it works. We've gotten better, but so the other thing we will typically do once we've gotten to the room on our magical Disney travel day is unpack. And I was trying to think, what would be your threshold for how many nights? Like if we're only there for 2 nights, I don't think we're unpacking. And when I say unpack, I mean, we're putting the clothes in the dressers. We're putting obviously the bathroom stuff in the bathroom. You do that either way, but really unpacking, like pretty much emptying the suitcases, sliding them under the bed.
Yep. Going under the bed.
What is your threshold for like how many nights would you say it's worth unpacking for you?
4. For me, 4.
I was between 3 and 4.
Yeah.
It's trickier with kids because having to find it, like you're like, where are their diapers and wipes? I'm like, oh, it's in their suitcase. Let's pull it out from under and open it. So it really is nice. So I think with them, if it's 3 nights or more, I would probably unpack. Yeah. But if it were just us, I think 4 nights or more is when I would.
Yeah, I would
totally
agree.
Unpack into the room.
Yeah. When I feel like Disney's pretty good about having enough drawer space for us. So that's one thing that's kind of nice. Like you almost feel like you're moving in. You move into the room for that short amount of time that you're there. And I love that feeling of moving in.
They even do a good job, like on the cruise line. They've created a lot of space, especially in the new ships. Like they know people are, because you have to. I mean, it's close quarters.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing how they've stuffed storage and drawers and into everywhere they possibly could on those cruise ships.
So the other thing we like to do is go into the gift shops at the hotel or shop. It depends on, I guess, the hotel. Like Grand Floridian has like 5.
Yeah.
But there's something so fun. You can go, usually the quick service is near there, so you can pick up your souvenir mug if you're doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Get that filled with the Coke.
Oh, your resort mug, you mean?
Yeah, what did I say? Yeah, the reusable resort mug.
Which is a part of the dining plan. If you do the dining plan, you get one. But even if you don't do the dining plan, it's pretty nice worth it to get those mugs.
You can get better coffee than you will make in your room.
Mm-hmm.
That is a given. But also if you're enjoying soda, poolside, even
it
just
adds up.
Water,
I mean, yeah.
But also it's a really cool souvenir.
True.
We love collecting ours. We could just do a whole row or two up there.
Yeah, honestly.
Have a souvenir mug tour episode. That's when we're on episode like 300 and we are really running low on ideas. We have too many ideas right now. But yeah, getting your mug, filling it with something, and then walking through the gift shops. I just love that. Planning out maybe things you're like, oh, I like that shirt. Maybe I'll buy it.
Yeah.
Oh, you like that toy, little one? Yeah. Well, maybe. Do you have enough money?
Also, one other thing that we kind of forgot about, speaking of this, going to the MCO gift shop.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And it's usually on the way there, it's a quick breeze through. On the way home, we usually linger in there a little longer.
Usually have a little more time.
But we pretty much always, even on our travel day there, just stop just for a minute, just kind of skim through.
Our little world of Disney or whatever it's called. What did they call it? Magic of Disney, I think.
Magic, I think so, yeah.
That one's a good one. But the other thing we would recommend is on that first day, or at least in the first day or two, if you are thinking about buying like a coffee mug, which obviously we are into. We did not do our mug shots today. Shall we take a mug shot break?
Sure.
Don't let me forget to talk about what I was going to say. So this one we got a few years ago, and it's got all of these old school, almost schematic-like maps of, is it Disneyland, I think?
No, it's World. Unless it has both, because that's the World Castle there.
Okay, that's fair. But looking at it, I think everything that's on here is Disneyland and Disney World. Like, you know what I mean? They made it general enough. Point is, it is incredible. I wish they still sold it because it is probably my favorite Disney mug we have.
It's so good. It's because it's the like old school maps, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and oh my gosh.
And they it's so good. That is a great mug.
Sure, all of these are on eBay somewhere. Someone, tell me about yours.
And then mine, I think I've used this one before, but this is also one of my favorites. Man, I spilled coffee all over the side of it.
Might have been me.
Gracious.
I spilled mine. I wonder if I spilled it onto yours.
But it's just got the little icons kind of from each park. It's got the Hollywood Tower Hotel. It's got the castle, the Epcot ball, like the little Soarin' guy up there.
And it's like hand drawn.
Yeah.
It's cute.
Yeah,
I think we bought those on the same
trip. And on
trip.
the inside, it says Walt Disney World.
Tyler told me the other day, we were getting some more mugs and switching them out as we do. And we were picking these out. And I said, we saw both of these and we were like, oh, we love them both. And I said, yeah, I think we got both of these mugs on the same trip. And what did you say to me? Do you remember?
I do.
You said, why did you say that like you were recording the podcast? Like I said it in my podcast voice. He said, I'm like, what?
And I think we got these on the same trip, actually. And I'm like, why are you saying it like that to me?
Why are you
I know. I was there.
We got problems. We got problems, baby. Oh, my tip. Back to coffee mugs.
Yes, this is a good tip.
This is something new we started doing a couple years ago. If you're going to buy a coffee mug, buy it early so you can enjoy putting coffee like in your room into that mug and actually drink it. I just would prefer to drink out of an actual coffee mug.
Yeah.
But you can kind of have that memory of this trip tied to that mug. So then in the future, when you're home, when you drink out of that mug, you think of like, oh, I remember we were staying at Pop Century during this trip, I
think the first time we did it, we were staying at Wilderness Lodge. Because I remember being out on the balcony of Wilderness Lodge drinking my coffee in the morning. And I'm like, oh, now I've got this memory attached to this mug. And it just was so happy.
I love that. So
that's a 10 out of 10 tip there.
Thank you. So we've unpacked into the room. All of our stuff's in there. We're kind of set up. Maybe we got our groceries delivered. We put those away. What do we do next? So I'm going to be really excited. Towards the end of this episode, we'll share your guys' ideas. And I briefly looked at them. And there are some ideas I never would have thought of that I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm really excited to read those.
I haven't looked at any yet.
Yeah, this is our inspiration, our ideas for you if you need some inspo. But I'm excited to share your guys' because they were really good. So one of mine was, of course, just having pool time. Making having the swimsuits easy to find in your suitcase, maybe even having them together. I know some people will pack them in their carry-on so they can right away.
Yeah, because that way if you are taking all your big bags to the Bell Services, you have your one bag that you can take with you to go
like if your room wasn't ready and you're like, well, have it all together in a bag so it's ready to go. So that is one tip. I just love pool time. Even if we're not getting in the pool, filling our souvenir mug and just like sitting poolside and just people watching,
Just
eating our quick service. Yeah, getting a Coke.
Does anybody
Sounds
even
so
get
good.
that reference? I was talking to Justin, our editor, about it, and he's like, "What is that reference? Why do you keep saying just get a
Get a
Coke?"
Coke.
And it's from this movie called Waiting for Guffman. It was like the original mockumentary series that Christopher Guest used to do.
And who was it?
It's Parker Posey, and she talks about working at the Dairy Queen, and she's like, "You can get a Blizzard. Some people just come in, just get a Coke."
and we
So
say it all
funny.
the time.
I just want to. Oh, I love Parker Posey.
Also, I worked at Dairy Queen when I was younger. I don't know if I've talked about that enough, and it was awesome.
I always
ate
have
so many Blizzards.
You would love this even more now. I kind of never even made that connection, but she talks about it at the very end. She's working at a Dairy Queen, or maybe she's at some, I think she's like grilling out because the show didn't go well. Whatever it was, it's been so long since I've seen it. And she says, "There's always a place for me at the Dairy Queen."
There you go. Go pound down the DQ's door.
I gotta find that clip and show it to you.
I loved working there. Okay. The other thing, if you've got kids, most of the resorts have playgrounds, and you can look ahead of time to see. But I feel like a big part of the day you arrive is kind of walking around your hotel, getting the lay of the land, don't you think?
Yeah,
Kind of just taking your Coke, walking around.
just walk around.
But I mean, honestly,
yeah. Yeah.
just getting the lay of the land, like, okay, that's where this is. That's where this is. Here's our room. And especially depending on your resort. I mean, some of them, like we stayed at Saratoga Springs recently, and our room is pretty far from the
Right.
main. So figuring out like, okay, how do we get there? We turn here. Okay.
Yeah.
Just figuring that out.
What is the
just
quickest way to
enjoying.
get to the buses? What is the quickest way to get to the lobby? Yeah, because some of them, you might be a quarter mile away.
I know, it can be far.
Yeah.
We're doing Fort Wilderness in the fall, and we could do an episode on that, but we're doing a golf cart because that one is really spread out.
You know where I like to do that even more than Walt Disney World though is on a cruise ship because
Getting a golf cart?
there's so much on a cruise ship and trying to figure out what's on what deck and this, that, and the other on your arrival day. I always say walk around the entire ship for like an hour. Just figure
Yeah.
out where stuff is, how to get to the
In
theater, how to
comparison
get to
to
the
your
restaurants.
room, and
Yeah.
So Tyler, when I mentioned this idea to you, you said something that we typically do most trips the first night. Do you remember what it was?
Of course.
What was it?
The second you
The
said
pinnacle.
this, the very first thing I thought was we almost always order an in-room pizza, which they don't really do the in-room pizzas anymore. You have
You
to
just
go
pick it up at the quick service, yeah.
But you can order a pizza, a whole pizza. We'll go pick it up and get like a salad or something like that on the side, and then ranch, and we'll hit in our room, turn on the TV, and
Watch
just
a
like
Disney movie.
relax and eat our pizza in our room.
That just got me so excited.
The pizza used to be really, really good. It's not very good anymore, but
Let's test it again.
I refuse to stop doing this.
Well, I mean, the reality is, come on, pizza's
a-
pizza. Like, bad pizza is still,
But the last few times we've done it, it's not been.
it's been
very
okay.
good.
I think
Yeah.
it's been okay.
It used to be really good though.
But I
don't
wonder
know
if we were just rose-colored glasses, you know?
It could be.
But the other thing is, we have, I think just once, ordered pizza from an outside pizza place and picked it up in the lobby.
Right. That's
So
right.
you have that option. I mean, you
Yeah.
could DoorDash things and go pick it up in your lobby.
Yeah.
So
And we already
we've-
got our resort mugs with our Coke in
that's
it,
right.
and we'll eat a pizza. That is like top tier happy place for me.
So a couple of quick fire ideas for you that we'll do sometimes. It really just depends on how the day goes, etc. But most resorts have their movie under the stars. So you can check that schedule. Usually it's around the lobby. You'll see like a board, and I'll just take a picture of it because it'll have what movies are playing each night and what time, and it'll have other resort activities going on.
And even for the week, right? It usually shows
Yeah,
like
it's
a
usually
week
the
at a
whole
time.
week. So I'll
Yeah.
just take a picture, and then you can reference it, zoom in, etc. Why did I explain it like that?
So you take your two fingers and you
Listen.
pinch it. If you pinch it like open, it goes closer, and if you pinch it like together, it's small. It goes like away.
So they also, most resorts will have their campfire. So you can go. The other day we were at the Children's Museum and I took a picture. I didn't have my contacts in. And because I don't need them anyway, it doesn't matter. I couldn't see the menu. So I took a picture and then looked at the picture and zoomed in. So that's why I was thinking about you can take a picture and then zoom in and you can see it. Anyway, so you could do the campfire. The marshmallows are usually free, but then you can buy like s'mores ingredients, or maybe all of it's free. I don't remember.
I think usually it's free.
Well, either way, that's always fun. And usually that's near-ish where the movie might be happening. A lot of them have arcades you could spend time in. A lot of them will have crafts or like a craft room. Some of them, if you ask, have a scavenger hunt.
Yeah, those are cool.
Those are really cool. And I've even seen one, like one of them was on the
Skyliner.
It was a sky, so you could go to the different resorts and find things. So
it's such a cool idea.
People make them like on Etsy. You were looking at some the other day, scavenger hunts for the parks. I'm sure they're resort specific ones that other people have made that you can buy for $1, download and print, bring them with you.
Yep. And our really almost cool. 6-year-old is super into that. It's like a very cool thing. And some of them are kind of funny. It's like find a crying baby,
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Just look to your left and you'll see your own sister. Another idea would be scrap all the resort stuff, drop your bags off and go elsewhere. So obviously you could go to a park, but Disney Springs.
That was going to be my thing.
Yeah.
That was, if you have even 4 hours, 4 hours, drop your stuff off. And I think, I don't know, at this age with our kids, I'd rather go to Disney Springs than the pool but once your kids get to be older, I feel like you'd probably enjoy the pool time a little bit more. But if it were me, I would say I would probably go to Disney Springs.
Disney Springs. Well, and bonus points if you're staying closer to it too. But either way, you can just pop on the bus from any resort, go there. You don't have to spend a dime in theory, although you definitely will. You'll get a snack or a drink or a souvenir or whatever.
But they've always got entertainment going on. Obviously, there's so many shops there, and that's probably what I would do.
Yeah. And another option, it would cost, we've actually never ever done this, is go to one of the mini golf things.
Oh, that's so true.
It's kind of the perfect day to do it. In the evening, you could go, do that and then come back and have dinner at the resort or something. But that's one of those things that it's never top of mind because we've never done it.
I say, have we ever done it?
I don't think so.
I don't think we have.
So just a fun little idea. So we asked on our Instagram, which is Disneyville Podcast, and also on our YouTube community page, what your guys' Disney Travel Day favorite things to do are. And if you want to join the conversation, if you want to possibly be featured, if you will, on this podcast, that is how you can do it. On our Instagram is where we get most of them from, but we're trying to be better about posting on our YouTube as well, because I know obviously a lot of you guys may be over there. So we wanted to share some of your guys' ideas. Like I said, I already previewed these and there were some really good ones. Okay, so Sarah Valdez 3087 said, we love to eat at Homecoming on our arrival day and then stop at Wine Bar George's to go window. This sounds amazing. And get a frozen old fashioned. Didn't even know that was a thing. Okay, add that to our list.
Write that down.
Right. Listen to this though, Tyler. You're going to love this. She said she'll get a frozen old fashioned there at the Wine Bar George window, which is my Roman Empire every day that I'm not at Disney. That's what she's thinking about daily. That is a great idea. Homecoming, Chef Art Smith's Homecoming. That food is incredible. We've been there twice, and oh my gosh,
it's I think they're known for their fried chicken, but their burger is like the best burger I've ever had in my life. Also, they have a moonshine flight. Make sure you have nothing else to do for the rest of the day. Stephen Rinaldi said, if it's an early flight, drop your bag off at the resort and head straight to Magic Kingdom. Midday flight, drop your bags at the resort and head to Disney Springs.
That's a good rule of thumb. It really just depends on how much time you're working with. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
And of course, for us, we're thinking like kids, do they need to nap? But
do I need to nap?
Do I need a nap? Becky B 1576 said, explore the resort or area we are staying and chill at the pool. We usually use it as our get set and relax day before many full or early park days. That's such a good point. Like taking it easy, especially if you don't decide to go to Disney Springs, like taking it easy, knowing you've got a lot of either early days or just very full, long
Right, exactly. Duns Do Disney said, early flight, unpack, hang at the resort, watch the fireworks if I can from my resort. That I didn't think about that.
That's a great idea.
A lot of the resorts you can see fireworks from. So that's...
Oh my gosh. Okay, Julie Wright 2795 said, low-key day at Disney Springs, no agenda, just take it easy. Usually we'll take the boat. So from Disney Springs, take the boat to Riverside and eat beignets, then get to bed early to be rested for the next day at the park. I've never would have thought about that. You can go to Disney Springs from whatever resort, enjoy a bit of that, get on the boat there, go to Riverside, get beignets, then go back to Disney Springs to catch
I love that boat ride.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have crossed my mind. Unless we were staying at Port Orleans, it would not have crossed my mind to just do that.
Yeah, I would agree.
That.
I love that idea. Livin0694 said, 1, order Amazon Fresh, unpack and organize, walk around the quiet resort at night, soak it all in, and then 2, appreciate my feet not hurting yet.
Yeah. So Liz Krause said, my favorite thing to do on arrival day is to spend the afternoon in Disney Springs, get my first Joffrey's of the trip.
Oh, yeah.
They have a really nice Joffrey's there. pin trade and explore World of Disney. Then we get dinner at one of the resorts. Sebastian's Bistro at Caribbean Beach is their favorite.
I don't think
one
that
that
place
we
even exists.
did not believe. I think we've talked about it in a previous episode, but we literally did not know that restaurant existed and could not believe it had been there as long as it had. We're like, how have we never heard of it? We've still not eaten there. We need to. Shenanigans said, if I have an annual pass, evening in the parks, because then you don't feel like you're like wasting a park ticket. No annual pass, go to Geyser Point at Wilderness Lodge.
Oh, that's another place we still have not been.
We've like walked through it because we
Right.
were staying there, but we didn't end up going for whatever reason.
It wasn't open when we were there.
I think so, yeah.
Like it opened at 2 p.m. or whatever, and we were there earlier.
Yeah. A lot of people love that area. And plus, I just love walking around Wilderness Lodge. That's one of my favorite areas, favorite hotels.
Here's 2 good ones in a row. We have Becca Kate that said, resort hop, grab dinner at a different resort than we stay, and then watch the fireworks. And then awesome. Rachel Ray said, drop my bags in the room and grab a refreshing drink and explore the resort.
Mikey Ortiz Jr. just said, Disney freaking Springs, baby. Wish I could go back in time and see Disney Springs with Pleasure Island again. And also, that's we could do a whole... Okay, I love this idea. Emily Joyner 90 said, right around in the Skyliner, we stayed at Pop Century. So if you're staying in a Skyliner resort, that's a great idea because it's a built-in easy way to resort hop without having to wait for a bus and even still, you can't take a bus to another resort necessarily.
Right.
So being able to go and walk around other ones, like people were saying, grab dinner at a different quick service or a different restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that.
All right, here's 2 more good ones. So Jess Miller Morabito said, we love to ride the monorail even if we're not going to MK. First ride of the trip. So magical. Ugh. Just get on that. Oh, I love the resort loop. And then Taylor Strobel said, we always do the resort loop for supper when we arrive and then watch the fireworks from Grand Floridian.
Oh my gosh. This all sounds amazing. So I wanted to share a review. We always like to read one from you guys. This one is from Meredith Gets Artsy. And she said, I've watched Jessica and Tyler on YouTube for years. This podcast hits the spot. I love Disney, and I now can nerd out with these 2. The way that they reimagine things in the parks and get the listeners involved is my favorite part. Keep the episodes coming. Thank you so much.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we love getting you guys involved. It's so, I don't know.
We need to have a 40-minute thing set aside because there's so many, and I always want to read all of them. But they're only so good. Time. So yeah, we should have like a bonus episode of where we read all of them. Mm-hmm. Sit down for 2 hours and read every single response.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed that episode. It got me going, all the feels. I am getting weirdly excited for this next trip. We both have talked about we're excited for this next trip because we feel like we're going to get back to basics. We're just so excited
There's so many things we feel like it's been a long time that haven't ridden in years that have been there a long time that we take. Perfect example is Mission Space. I couldn't tell you the last time I rode that ride. It's not a favorite of mine, and I will be doing the tame version. But I'm like, I need to re-ride that because there are so many things that I skip because I want to do newer things. But I'm like, okay, we've done a lot of the newer ones a lot. I want to get, like you said, back to basics and ride some of those things that we have not ridden in a long time that are always there. Yeah. And I think, and this is going down a whole rabbit hole, but I feel like because we always film it, there are certain things that I want to go and film, but I'm like, when we first started going, we just were so excited to go. And that's how I feel about this next trip. I don't know why, but I am just going because I'm excited and not because I feel like I should be filming stuff. I'm just excited to go. Yeah, we're kind of in this weird area where obviously this is part of our job too. So it's how do you balance enjoying a vacation with your family and filming it and making sure you've got stuff and it's just a balance. But versus when we went 10 years ago, we were just filming it for funsies. It was not a job. And that's how I feel like it's going to be on this next trip. I'm really excited about this next trip. All right. We're going to end up getting there and being sick the whole time. By the way, I think by the time this goes live, we'll already be home from that. Yeah, I think so. So the vlogs will be coming out very soon. Mm-hmm. Like we said, definitely follow us on YouTube. If you enjoy watching the podcast version, it is Disneyville Podcast there. If you are listening, hey, thank you. And if you want to see those vlogs, we do have them on the Disneyville Podcast YouTube page, but they actually are living on Tyler Braun's channel. If you want to find them, we've got all the vlogs. Awesome. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we will see you on the next one. Bye, guys.